Good evening, I'm AJ Douglas. Thanks for joining us. First, Sunday morning, a man died in a single vehicle crash on Route 2 on Colebrook Road. According to a press release from the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, a sedan traveling toward Herman Village left the roadway, striking an embankment, utility pole, and small business property, causing the vehicle to roll over several times. The only occupant of the vehicle was pronounced dead at the scene. The crash was investigated by the sheriff's deputies, crash reconstructors, forensic mappers, and the Herman Fire Department. Authorities have not released the names of the deceased at this time. The incident remains under investigation. In other news, crews were called to respond to a building fire on Greenwood Drive in Brewer Saturday. Brewer Fire Department Deputy Fire Chief Eric Turtelot says the department received the call shortly after 11 a.m. and it took firefighters only 15 minutes to extinguish the fire.
Crews arrived on scene. They didn't see anything initially. Upon entry to the home, they did find heavy smoke conditions and fire in the kitchen area. They quickly knocked it down.
Additional responding agencies include the Bangor, Holden, Orrington, Eddington, and Dedham fire departments to assist at the scene. Officials say that residents were inside the building at the time of the fire, but they all made it out safely and no injuries were reported. The State Fire Marshal's office has been called to investigate, but the cause has yet to be determined. In other news, local students and community members came together to raise funds and awareness for Maine's homeless population. Hudson University hosted its 6th annual Walk for Warmth Sunday morning. Participants braved the cold weather to raise funds and walk 5 kilometers around the Hudson campus.
For us at Hudson, community service is a big component of our education and understanding the needs of our community. As a physical therapy major and somebody in the health profession, it's important to me to give back to the community and understand the needs of our population.
The university student president, Ryan Willock, says the walkathon raised about $300, which is the average from the past years. All proceeds for the Walk for Warmth will go to the Bangor Warming Center. Maine soldiers returned home to a heartfelt reception Saturday. Our David Ledford spoke with families who were eager to reunite after nearly a year apart.
This morning I woke up and just felt really anxious. I'm just nervous to see him, but so excited.
The loved ones of members of the Maine Army National Guard gathered at the Aviation Readiness Center in Bangor to welcome troops home after a long deployment overseas. For 10 months, the 120th Regional Support Group were supporting the European Command's Operation Atlantic Resolve in Poland, Latvia, and Lithuania.
Just couldn't be happier. It's a day that we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
Governor Janet Mills came out to welcome the soldiers and show appreciation for their hard work and dedication to the people of Maine.
You missed a lot of school breaks with your kids and anniversaries, birthdays, and family occasions and get-togethers, and your work to support our European allies and to safeguard America and our strategic interests abroad have made Maine and our nation safe, and we thank you.
Approximately 80 soldiers were welcomed home, including Warrant Officer Aaron Smith, who says he missed what many Mainers may take for granted.
Camping, moxie, hot dogs, beans. It was overwhelming. I thought I was almost going to pass out. I got a little weak and nauseous almost. Just so excited to see them, so it was really nice.
Maine Army National Guard officials say that the mission of Operation Atlantic Resolve is to build readiness, increase interoperability, and enhance bonds between ally and partner militaries. Many say they couldn't be more proud of the work their loved ones have done.
They deserve the world, and it's nice to be able to show them so much support and happiness that they're back home.
In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A local recovery group hosted a film screening in honor of its new youth program. Devin Dagnall stopped by to learn more.
I think you'll hear it all when you speak to these kids.
The Bangor Area Recovery Network, also known as The Barn, has launched its own branch of the Maine Youth Action Network, a program designed to help Maine kids who have experienced life changes because of their connection to those battling substance abuse disorder.
It's all over the spectrum. We have had youth that they themselves have been impacted by substance use, many of which, like you stated, have a loved one or that either is experiencing substance use disorder or is in some stage of harm reduction or recovery in their life.
To kick off the program, the barn hosted a screening of Point North's Recovery in Maine Youth Voices, a documentary about and created by Maine kids whose lives have been affected by addiction. The documentary follows members of the Maine Youth Network while they learn at the State House how to create and pass legislation to help those suffering from substance abuse disorder.
Really kind of scary thing to see how like drugs and stuff can change, and especially when it's happening in youth. I think it's important to have other youth voices kind of preventing that.
According to Mobilize Recovery Maine's organizing director Steve Knockwood, the Maine Youth Action Network meets at the barn every Sunday at 1 p.m. If you or someone you know is interested in joining the program, contact the barn at 207-561-9444. In Brewer, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Some Maine families continued their St. Patrick's Day celebrations into the weekend by taking a step back in time. The Maple Syrup and Irish celebration event at the 19th century Curran Village in Orrington combines Irish heritage and Maine traditions to deliver blacksmithing and carpentry demonstrations, horse sled rides, live music, an antique carousel, and much more. Some demonstrators say they hope to show what life was like in rural New England in the 1850s.
Really exposing children to the processes so that we can bridge that gap between what's kind of getting lost to hopefully a new generation that, hey, we sparked an interest in something that, hey, I saw that demonstrated, I'd like to try that someday, or I'd like to do that for a job someday.
The estimated 300 children and adults that attended enjoyed unique cuisine like Irish soda bread and lamb stew. Organizers say proceeds will support the preservation of the historic buildings in the village and go towards future events. In their first ever polar plunge, members of the Belfast Police Department raised more than $2,900 for the Special Olympics. Matthew Juranczyk has more.
Despite the cool day, Belfast police took a dip for a good cause at the Belfast boat landing.
It's always a little bit colder this time of year, obviously. I'm told it's in the low 30s and it's in the mid 30s outside. So, but it's good. It's for a great cause.
Coordinated by Sergeant Rick Smith, the money raised from the plunge benefited the Special Olympics in Waldo County.
This is very Belfast, right? We are a community that comes together for great causes. We have wonderful people that live here. We have wonderful city staff. We have amazing police officers. It's just about being there for when people need you, and that's what Belfast is all about.
To make the event extra special, Sergeant Smith took it upon himself to spend 5 extra minutes inside the brisk water.
For me, the 5 minutes was just the show. Put yourself to be in a comfortable spot. Water's cold. But to support the Special Olympics and this cause and put yourself in that environment, it's a small price to pay to support such a good cause.
Raising over $2,900 so far in the course of a week, Smith has some ideas for the next polar plunge.
If I had my way, we would do what we call a super plunge, and that would be 1 dip every hour for 24 hours.
In Belfast, Matthew Juranczyk reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Let's turn things over to Conrad Supinski, who's in now with the first look at our forecast.
Thank you so much, AJ. Okay, it's still winter. Our first official day of spring is tomorrow, and our last day of winter welcomed us with a couple of flurries all over the state. Some lighter snow bands up north, but overall, though, minor accumulations. Here in town, though, temperatures slightly above freezing, so that's why it's kind of hard for all that snow to be sticking around. Morning low, though, around 27 degrees up north, though. Greenville into Clayton Lake, we're in the teens, even a couple of lower 20s. So more refreezing of that snow was happening. Here in town, though, not much snow left, around 2 inches, but up north, 1.5 feet, even 2 feet in some spots. Last year, in the northern part of the state, there was a little bit more snow than there is this year around. Temperatures, though, earlier today, 36 here in town, Millinocket 32. Bar Harbor, though, and by the coast, same story, mid to even upper 30s. Tonight, though, it's going to get cold. Temperatures will be back in the teens by those morning hours. AJ?
Thanks, Conrad. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
Find meaningful work in direct care, no matter where you are in life.
The difference that you make in somebody else's life is absolutely incredible.
Visit mainjobs.care/WVII to learn more and make an impact through a compassionate career.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event in it. Now that's a killer deal. Good thing this Rogue has a VC turbo engine, unlike RAV4.
Get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
Catch these offers while you can.
If you've been injured in an accident, get Maine's most recognized personal injury law firm working for you today. The law offices of Joe Bornstein, fighting and winning for injured Mainers for nearly 50 years. Selected best lawyers in America for personal injury, recognized for professional excellence. With more than $500 million collected for injured Mainers and over 25,000 victories for Maine families. Call Joe for a free case evaluation and get the Bornstein Advantage.
At Hashi's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashi's, we also do rhino linings. We can rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
911, what's your emergency?
At any moment, this city could burn. 911, all new this Monday on Fox.
Find meaningful work in behavioral health care.
I find that the most rewarding part of my job is the emotional gratification in seeing my clients succeed.
Visit mainjobs.care/Fox to learn more and make an impact through a compassionate career.
Now that snowmobiling season is coming to a close for much of southern Maine, the Maine Warden Service is reporting an alarming number of snowmobile injuries and deaths this season. Fox's Asia Reed spoke with a snowmobile club member.
Maine wardens say the amount of snowmobile deaths has already doubled what it was last year.
It's disturbing because we all want to go home safe.
This year, there have been more than 100 snowmobiling injuries and 10 deaths in the state, up from 5 fatal crashes in 2022. Jenny Little, the president of the Topsom Trail Riders, says unsafe conditions cut their snowmobile season short.
Just because you see snow on the trails does not necessarily mean the trails are safe to ride on.
Little says trails need 1.5 feet of packed frozen snow and cold conditions, which southern Maine hasn't seen a lot of this winter. The Topsom Trail Riders say both speed and sled safety are also big concerns.
Taking some time in the backyard, if you have one, to try and figure out how to operate it.
Fairly large loops out there.
Wardens say there have been 52 reported property damages this year, the highest amount in the last 4 years. Wardens say at least 1 of the 10 deaths this season was caused by both speed and alcohol. Snowmobiler Barry Bernard from Wyndham Drifters says alcohol should never be a part of your ride.
I see people out there and they're going from, one place to another and having another drink and another drink and another drink. So there's a huge amount of personal responsibility that has to come to bear in order to be a safe snowmobiler.
And always wear a helmet before going out. Snowmobilers say if you're a first-time rider, check out snowmobile safety courses. The Maine Department of Inland Fisheries is hosting a snowmobile safety course on March 25th.
Hundreds of students across Maine competed during Skills USA to see who is the best in their respective field. Our Matthew Jurasic has the story.
Early Friday morning, Mainers filed into United Technology Center in Bangor to see who will be awarded gold and compete in Skills USA nationally.
These are really our future workers and leaders and truly do make what will be America's future workforce.
Students competed in fields ranging from automotive to welding and carpentry. The top spot will move on to the national championship taking place in Atlanta in June. Bangor High School student O'Hara Dunley, who competed in the customer service field, would like to win a gold medal, but says being here is a win in itself.
It means so much to be asked to do it.
As a Maine State officer, Raquel Shaw has the opportunity to see the students hard at work and encourage them to do their best. She says seeing the students leaving everything on the floor is what makes this competition so special.
And just when you walk in, you see a smile on competitors' faces through the nerves. They're excited to be here and compete in their respective trades. They're there more than just the textbooks. They're there to have a career and to have a future.
At the end of the day, students know they gave it their all.
I'm excited for the results tonight at the Cross Insurance Center, but I don't know, hopefully. I think I did really good, though.
In Bangor, Matthew Juroncic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
We continue to look back at the funeral services for widely respected Holden Police Chief Chris Greeley. Many came out to celebrate the life of the longtime public servant. Our David Ledford reports.
The impact he had was just phenomenal on everyone he touched. Nobody forgot him.
An outpouring of community members, friends, and family gathered at the Anna Shrine Center to honor and pay respects to Holden Police Chief Chris Greeley. Leading up to the ceremony, many of those whose lives Greeley touched gathered on the procession route, as both officers and civilians stood in solidarity to pay their respects on the streets of Bangor and Brewer. To many, Greeley stood as the highest pinnacle of public service. To his wife Donna, he was a loving family man.
Allie and Sammy adored their Chrissy. This Bachelor of the Month, no longer, brought the girls to practice, made sure they did their homework, always made sure they were laughing and having a good time. He picked the responsibility of being a dad long before we married.
During his time with the Holden Police Department, Greeley pioneered the annual 25 Days of Kindness initiative, which raised more than $25,000 last year alone. The event provided those in need with everything from toys and food to financial support and heating assistance.
Small town Holden, we're a community of 3,200 people. But Chris helped put us on the map in a bigger way than ever before. And we'll always be thankful for that because the caliber of residents we have, they know that.
In addition to Holden, Greeley served with several Penobscot County departments throughout his career, including Vesey, Brewer, and the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office. Greeley's public service is highlighted as going above and beyond the call of duty, but the scope of the man's efforts extended even further than his community. He also worked as a Republican legislator in the House of Representatives from 2002 to 2010, where he served on the Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee. However, for some of his closest friends, the sound of Greeley's infectious laughter and quick-witted humor were some of his most valuable contributions.
Everything he did, he tried to bring some bit of humor to make people smile, to break the ice, especially even with serious topics. Chris, you never left Chris upset or not in a good place. Every time you left, no matter what the topic was about, you always left a little bit better.
Greeley's legacy is one of kindness and compassion, but his many professional and personal ventures throughout his life also reflect his outgoing and likable demeanor. Greeley traveled the country as a motivational speaker for SkillPath seminars. He worked as a weatherman for News Center. He filled in on radio talk shows and carried with him a passion for music. Operating a DJ business with his brother-in-law, Keith Tasker, and playing in several bands throughout his life. Tasker shared some of his favorite memories of his time with Greeley during the emotional ceremony.
I'm truly blessed that Chris and I spent so much musical time together, whether jamming at a family party, working together in bands. It was always fun, always magical, always had laughter, and it was always a gift.
Some of those who knew him best say that his willingness to offer his time and attention to those in need was his most notable quality.
I spent almost 8 years of my life, thousands and thousands of hours by his side. He was like a mentor, like a friend, a leader, and like a father. So I was there for me and for everybody that needs him.
Greeley's friends and family say he will be remembered as someone who gave to those in need and led by example, and that his life serves as a reminder of the simple power of kindness.
Chief Christian Greeley, Holden 500. We have the watch for you. access code.
We'll be back after these commercials. Stay with us.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Find out where that road leads. Take on any challenge. When you have the #1 mass market brand and dependability, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Get 2.9% APR for up to 48 months on a new 2023 Forte.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Welcome to Kings Mountain RC and Hobby Shop in Brewer. And some call me the King. There are RC trucks, cars, crawlers, and parts aplenty. There are planes, metal detectors, and gear galore. I have decreed that all people can book birthday parties with their RC vehicles provided for all. We have indoor and outdoor tracks and crawling courses available. Bring yourself, your family, and friends to Kings Mountain RC and Hobby Shop, South Main Street, Brewer.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Big changes could be coming to California's oldest prison. Governor Gavin Newsom is unveiling a plan to turn San Quentin into a rehab facility. But critics say the Democrat is once again prioritizing offenders over victims of crime. Fox's Christina Coleman is in Los Angeles with more.
Supporters of this effort say California is creating the most innovative rehabilitation facility in the nation by transforming California's oldest and most notorious prison into what will be called the San Quentin Rehabilitation Center. On Friday, Governor Gavin Newsom visited San Quentin State Prison and announced more details on his efforts during his statewide tour. Under his plan, the prison's death row population will be moved to other prisons, and the facility will become a rehabilitation center offering education and job training to inmates. They believe the services could help break the cycle of violence. The governor's budget proposal allocates $20 million to begin repurposing the prison. The state legislature would have to approve the funding.
We want to be the preeminent restorative justice facility in the world. That's the goal. San Quentin is iconic. San Quentin is known worldwide. If San Quentin can do it, it can be done anywhere else.
But many Republicans say if the governor and the Democratic-led legislature was serious about fighting crime, they would try and prevent dangerous criminals from getting released early from prison for earning accelerated and exaggerated good conduct credits.
What's happened is we've created this whole energy behind only the offender, and the victims get completely forgotten.
Despite criticism, the governor and his supporters say the goal is to have San Quentin transformed into a rehabilitation center by the end of 2025. Reporting in Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
The Biden administration says it's concerned about the upcoming meeting between Chinese President and Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is now accused of war crimes by the International Criminal Court. This as tensions between Russia and the West have been steadily growing. Fox's Alexandria Huff has a story from the White House.
The three-day summit is set to begin Monday. President Biden held back on commenting about the meeting until it takes place. The summit was announced the same day that the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for President Putin over alleged war crimes and the forced deportation of Ukrainian children to Russia. President Biden is in Wilmington today, but before departing the White House, he commended the ICC's action despite the U.S. not recognizing the court.
Well, I think it's justified, but the question is, it's not recognized internationally by us either. But I think it makes a very strong point.
China's president says his trip to Moscow is, quote, for the sake of peace. But U.S. officials are skeptical, warning that China is poised to provide Russia with lethal aid in the continued assault against Ukraine, and that any ceasefire proposals from Beijing would be one-sided. The summit was announced after President Biden said earlier this week that he would speak to President Xi soon. The White House says no call has been scheduled. On Friday, the U.S. resumed drone flights over the international waters of the Black Sea. This after the Pentagon released this video saying it shows a Russian jet intercepting, then colliding with an unmanned U.S. drone, forcing it down. Russia denied fault.
We do know that this aggressive behavior was intentional on the part of the pilots. Whether or not they hit the drone on purpose, we don't know.
According to Russia's defense ministry, the fighter pilots involved were given state awards. Reporting from the White House, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
President Trump sounding the alarm that he could be arrested in just a few days. If that happens, he'd be the first former president in U.S. history to be indicted. A New York grand jury has been presented evidence by the Manhattan District Attorney that could lead to possible criminal charges. Fox's Nate Foyle has the latest.
Former President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social Saturday saying he expects to be indicted by the Manhattan DA's office. Trump wrote in part, quote, "The far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday of next week." The former president also told his supporters, quote, "Protest, take our nation back." The case revolves around a $130,000 hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels on the eve of the 2016 presidential election. Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, says he paid the money on behalf of Trump to cover up an alleged affair with Daniels that Trump denies. The former president declined to testify before a grand jury this month as numerous Republicans claim the investigation is politically motivated. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tweeted Saturday, quote, "Here we go again. An outrageous abuse of power by a radical DA who lets violent criminals walk as he pursues political vengeance against President Trump." Congressman Jeff Jackson thinks the evidence may implicate the former president.
Not only do we have evidence that Michael Cohen was reimbursed for that, we have Trump's signature on the checks, but that the reimbursement happened in phases. In order to prove the felony, you have to prove intent to conceal. And the fact that the reimbursement was structured may indicate the intent to conceal, that Trump sort of knew what he was doing was wrong and was trying to hide it.
Trump would be the first U.S. president ever to face criminal charges. He says he'll continue campaigning no matter what happens. In New York, Nate Foy, Fox News.
First Citizens Bank shares may offer to buy Silicon Valley Bank, according to Bloomberg. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corp, or FDIC, is still deciding whether to fully sell or break up sales of Silicon Valley Bank following its collapse. The nation's 16th largest bank shut down following a liquidity crunch, rattling depositors and raising concerns about the banking system. Bloomberg reporting a person familiar with the situation says Citizens is not the only bank looking to pick up the pieces in SVB's aftermath. There is at least one other potential buyer. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
4 planes were hijacked on 9/11, but were there more?
Flight 23 was the 5th plane.
TMZ investigates 9/11, the 5th plane, Monday on Fox.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back.
The MyPillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, MyPillow 2.0.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Just like all of you, I never imagined that MyPillow could get any better. That's why I haven't changed it in nearly 20 years. Then I heard about a revolutionary new technology, and I knew I had to bring it to you all. MyPillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of MyPillow.
The MyPillow 2.0 is cooler and softer than the last MyPillow. It is so comfortable to sleep on at night. I look forward to going to bed, and I wake up well rested in the morning.
Sleep is all about temperature and height. MyPillow 2.0's patented adjustable fill is going to give you the exact individual support you need from your head to your bed. And now here's where it gets even better. We've all experienced those temperature-related sleep interruptions where you get too hot, you toss and turn, you flip your pillow over to the cool side. Well, all that's gone with my brand new MyPillow 2.0 cooling fabric that's made with temperature-regulating thread.
The best sleep just got even better. Whether you have a MyPillow or not, you need to get the brand new MyPillow 2.0. Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use your promo code, and for a limited time when you buy one, you'll get a second one absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
Visit MyPillow.com.
More parents are taking up the fight against Snapchat. The pushback comes amid allegations that the social media app helps facilitate the sale of lethal counterfeit pills containing fentanyl. Fox's CB Cotton has the details.
More grieving parents are suing Snapchat, hoping the social media platform will do more to stop the sale of drugs.
It's an anything goes platform.
Parents like Rebecca Brown, who lost her son after she says he purchased a fake pill through the popular app.
There was enough fentanyl in it to kill 3 grown adults, and he had no idea.
After her son died in 2021, Brown says she found menus listing drugs offered to her son on the app, and notifications still poured in from drug dealers up until late the next day.
I'm assuming by that time they probably had heard that he had passed.
The Browns are one of 9 families in a new wrongful death lawsuit brought by the Social Media Victims Law Center, claiming Snapchat's features like disappearing messages encourage illegal drug sales.
It's very difficult as parents to know what's going on because of these private messages.
The Law Center's founder says in total they represent 35 parents who lost children to fentanyl-laced drugs bought on Snapchat.
I really think the more parents know about this, the more frank conversations they can have with their kids, the more lives will be spared.
Last month, the DEA called on big tech to do more.
Social media is truly the superhighway of drugs. Right now, we are not seeing sufficient accountability for the lives being lost.
Snapchat tells Fox it's updated technology to detect and remove drug dealers and released a new tool for parents to monitor and report concerning activity. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox News.
Pride Month is not that far away, and one city in Florida will not look the same this June as the rainbow-colored banners, which once hung in the streets to celebrate Pride Month, will not be there this year. Fox's Patrick Perez has more.
June in Winter Park will likely look a bit differently this year. These rainbow-colored banners that once hung from these poles these past 2 years to celebrate Pride Month will no longer fly.
Not having the banners up this year, it's a hit. You know, it hurt.
Thor Falk, the president and founder of Winter Park Pride Project, first applied to fly the banners in 2021. City staff had no problem then approving them, but that changed this year when Falk went to reapply again.
the banner program is very likely to change, and that's going to have an impact on whether or not you can fly banners.
City commissioners met last Wednesday to discuss limiting its banner program to only city-sponsored or promoted events, or in rare cases, to promote a local historic, artistic, or educational nonprofits events. Longtime resident Bonnie Jackson will tell you this is a direct response to her wanting to fly a pro-life banner.
It's a little yellow banner with a stick figure family, a traditional family, a boy and a girl and a pregnant mom, and it just said choose life at the top, celebrate family at the bottom.
She applied last summer to have it fly this June, but she says the city never approved or rejected it. Now, if the proposed policy change is approved as is, she wouldn't even be allowed to apply.
They were more offended by my banner than they were with a pride banner. And to me, that is the opposite of inclusive. God forbid that somebody might think Winter Park is pro-family or pro-life. How horrible. I mean, that's crazy.
For Falk, this will just mean having to find other ways to celebrate Pride.
It won't ruin us, I can tell you that. We will still be here. Flags will still be flying in June.
Commissioners will look again on March 22nd for a final decision before adopting policy changes. In other news, 4 Americans were kidnapped earlier this month just over the Mexican border. 2 of them were shot and killed, reportedly while seeking cheap medical procedures, highlighting the potential dangers of medical tourism. Fox's Alexis McAdams is in New York with more.
That's right. Medical tourism brings in big money for Mexico. And although Americans get a pretty big discount on those elective surgeries when they cross over the border, there are major health concerns. I talked to one woman who was left on a feeding tube for 3 years. Justine Rodriguez was nearly 400 pounds. So the Idaho native made the decision to get weight loss surgery.
I was nervous about it. I was desperate.
When her insurance wouldn't cover it, she went to Tijuana, Mexico.
That was probably the worst choice I ever made in my life.
The 2016 surgery only cost $5,000, but left the now 37-year-old with major complications.
My lungs collapsed, my kidneys and my liver were failing. The infection went to my brain.
Medical tourism is a booming business in Mexico. Every year, more than 1 million Americans cross the border to save up to 70% on elective procedures like dental work, cosmetic, and weight loss surgeries, according to Patients Beyond Borders.
In Mexico, there's less regulation, so you need to do your homework.
Crossing the border is also dangerous and can be deadly. Just this month, 4 Americans traveling for cosmetic surgery were kidnapped. 2 were killed by the cartel in Matamoros, Mexico.
The medical travel community is really shocked because we got used to patients being pretty much 100% safe when they cross the border.
But as long as it's cheaper south of the border, Americans will take the risk.
The money is not worth it. It's not worth your life.
As officials warn about that cartel violence just over the border, the CDC is also reminding Americans to do their research before they get into this, and also that there are different standards at those hospitals and clinics in Mexico than there are here in the U.S. Reporting in New York City, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
It may take more than the luck of the Irish for Americans to sell their homes in this market. Fox Business Network's David Asman has this story and more coming up on Fox Means Business.
Drivers paying less green on St. Patrick's Day. The national average for regular unleaded gas dropping a couple of cents this week. A gallon now at $3.45. Now, keep in mind, last year at this time, gas was well over $4 a gallon. But shoppers are heading into spring feeling a little down. According to a key report from the University of Michigan, consumer sentiment is dropping in March. Persistent inflation still weighing on Americans when they hit the stores. And if you're selling a home, you might be waiting a while for someone to sign on the dotted line. According to real estate company RE/MAX, homes sold in February stayed on the market for an average of 45 days. That's up 14 days from this time last year. Higher rates and prices giving some buyers pause. To Wall Street, and with all the turmoil around regional banks this week, we still manage solid gains for the week for the NASDAQ and S&P 500. The Dow was off slightly. That's business. I'm David Asman.
Conrad Zupinski is in next with our full 5-day forecast.
Pretty chilly temperatures all over the states. 20s up north and 30s here in town. Warmer air will be rolling on in. When and how warm we'll get? The answers coming up.
Here at Black Fly Coffee Company, quality will never be compromised. No matter what type of coffee you choose, whether it's hot, iced, or frozen, you can feel confident that our products are the highest caliber. We're here to assist you with your morning cup of joe, along with your mid-afternoon pick-me-up. And while here, grab a pastry for a snack. We always have fresh pastries available from a local business right here in the area. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman. Come bowl a few games here at Bangor Brewer Bowling Lanes. We're one of the only candlepin bowling alley centers in Maine, conveniently located in the heart of Brewer. You always have the opportunity to simply bowl for fun. However, you can also join a league. We have youth leagues, adult and senior leagues. Now don't forget, we also host birthday parties for under $100, and gift certificates are also available. Give us a call right away at 989-3798 to make reservations for your birthday party today.
You just wait around a minute, something awful's bound to happen. You can save me. That's what we're here for.
911 Lone Star, Tuesday on Fox.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Our last official day of winter is today. Tomorrow is our first day of spring, and our last day of winter welcomed us. Our whole entire state with a couple of flurries from north to south. Here in town, though, we did have a couple of flurries. Not anything to really disturb us in our commute or make roads anything into the poor range. It didn't really accumulate as temperatures were in those mid-30s today. A little bit of lake effect snow into upstate New York. PA is getting in on some snow showers as well. Overall, though, things are starting to calm down. That low-pressure system we had is now long gone. A couple of flurries we had today, but overall, though, things will be clearing up. The next couple of days, we're actually going to be in the clear. And then once again, by middle to maybe end of next week, we'll get a little bit more rain and snow. It is a bit windy here in town, though. Not too bad. 12-mile-an-hour winds. Bar Harbor at 9. Look at Rockland, though. 18-mile-an-hour sustained winds. And just up north, look at this. 25 miles per hour. That means wind gusts are closer to 35, even 40 miles per hour in some spots. So today's that day. Definitely hold your scarves and your hats. We do have some small craft advisories out. Also some gale warnings until around 8 a.m. tomorrow. We'll see if that gets extended. But temperatures, though, have been getting a little bit colder. We did have some of that cold air from Canada make its way all the way down south, I'd say Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, into Wisconsin. Got in on some pretty cold temperatures. Now that cold front is continuing to move to the east, and we are finally in on some colder temperatures today into tomorrow. And then finally things start to really warm up the next couple of days. Last couple of weeks, we've been mild. We had well above average temperatures in the 40s, even close to 50 degrees one of these days, where we reached around 47 degrees, even recently up to close to 50 degrees. So it's been very, very mild. Our average high should be around 41 degrees. Take a look at the next week. Near average, even slightly above average once again. So most of this winter, the Northeast, all of the Northeast has been pretty mild, besides the northern parts of the upper Midwest. That's the little colder pocket for this winter. Tonight, though, temperatures will be hovering at around 14 degrees, mostly clear skies. Winds will start to calm down just a little bit, but overall, though, still a light breeze. Tomorrow, temperatures near average, around 42 degrees, mostly sunny skies, and a light breeze once again. Our extended forecast outlook does show lots of sunshine for a first official date of spring. Tomorrow, Tuesday into Wednesday, we're going to be in the clear. And then more chances of rain and snow do arrive by Thursday before we finally clear up by Friday.
That's the news I like to hear. I might actually believe that spring is on the horizon. Stay with us. Sports is next with Ryan Sudol.
With so much to love, you don't want to miss the Quirk Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get 3.9% financing when you purchase 2023 models. It's your Subaru. Find it at Quirk.
Who can you call when you need immediate help, any time of day or night? Always giving you and your family peace of mind.
AAA's legendary roadside assistance is a network with over 50,000 vehicles that respond to more than 32 million assistance calls every year.
If something happens and we're broken down, my family's not going to be stranded.
There are so many benefits to membership, and AAA is there if you're locked out of your car, need a tow, run out of gas, have a flat tire, or a dead battery.
You know, if you have one flat tire or one battery service, that membership fee pays for itself.
Wherever you go, wherever you are, you can trust AAA to be there when you need them.
Join today for less than $5 a month. We'll waive the membership admission fee. And as a special bonus, you'll receive a free 1-year membership for 2 additional eligible family members and a $25 Visa gift card. That's a combined value of $166 for only $55 for an annual membership. Don't wait another second. Call to join AAA right now.
When it comes to winter footwear, warmth, waterproof, and safety matter most. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport and discover the latest in winter boot technology. We've got boots rated from -60 to 0 degrees Fahrenheit to keep your feet warm in any weather. Check out the new materials guaranteed to keep your feet dry. Relieve the anxiety of slipping and falling this winter with the new Navitech with grippers built right into the sole. Just flip it and clip it and you're ready to go. Be prepared this winter. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport.
It's your car, it's your SUV, it's your truck. Experience the pre-owned difference with a huge selection of over 500 used vehicles at Quirk Motor City Used Vehicle Center, 377 Hogan Road, Bangor. It's your car. Find it at Quirk Motor City.
I'm gonna make this right.
You can tell me the truth.
Accused, Tuesday on Fox.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start on the hardwood at Husson, where the school held its yearly wheelchair basketball tournament Saturday. It was a great event for a great cause, and trust me, it is a lot harder than it looks.
We're trying to get the community together, get other students together, and just play some basketball.
Husson University hosted its 23rd annual wheelchair basketball tournament Saturday, a fundraiser for the school's physical therapy travel fund.
Pretty much just raising money for the PT program, letting us go out and being able to travel a little bit to some of the events that help further our education.
Big events, particularly the prestigious combined section meeting in Massachusetts.
It's through the American Physical Therapy Association, but they'll have a chance to go to different educational sessions that we can't provide to them here at the college.
They will do practice-based evidence research and kind of like the new things that are going on in PT, and that way we can stay current.
The benefit was a huge success, raising nearly $1,000. On the court, though, results varied.
It's one thing to use a wheelchair by itself, implementing a basketball along with it, passing it, shooting it, and thinking about where your teammates are and not running into people just makes it about 100 times harder.
I used to play basketball my whole life, and I can hardly get a layup in.
Well, I've played basketball a total of 0 years, so let's see how I fared.
I think it's because I'm just not good at basketball to begin with.
But beyond the hardships of playing in a wheelchair, this event gives those in it a whole new perspective on what it's like to live in one.
It's eye-opening, understanding what someone has to go through and
we're talking people that would be doing this days at a time.
This is a turning point in somebody's life. Nobody really expects it. It could happen anytime.
And if it does happen, it will be the physical therapy students people will come to in the future. In many ways, gaining these perspectives helps their careers.
It kind of also changes how you would actually treat them in the clinic and kind of like understanding like goals and helping them get better.
It's a really nice way to really celebrate the things that we enjoy as therapists, but also for the students to learn along the way.
Big shout out to Amber LeMay on the camera work on my attempt at shooting the basketball. Let's head to the high school level now. A couple of big-name basketball head coaches stepped down from their positions this week. Starting in Herman, after 8 years of coaching the girls basketball team and racking up over 100 wins, head coach Chris Cameron is stepping down from his position. Cameron celebrated his 100th win last season. He also has 2 Class B North championships during his time with the Hawks and has played in 4 of them. So getting into that big game in half of his seasons there. And in Brewer, after bringing home the program's first ever gold ball this season, Coach Ben Goodwin is stepping down. Goodwin coached Brewer from 2009 to 2013 before stepping down and coming back to the Witches in 2016. Brewer reached the regional finals in each of the last 2 seasons and have a 52-6 record over Goodwin's past 3 years. Credit Adam Robinson from the BDN with the news. And let's step away from the court now and head to the Diamond. Maine baseball won their first America East game against UMBC on Friday. They tried to complete the series sweep in a doubleheader Saturday, starting with Game 1. Top of the second, Black Bears up 2-0. Dylan McNary will gladly change that. 2-run shot to left that brings home Matt McElwain, one of 2 of his homers on the day, 4-0 Maine. Next batter is Jake Reynes, and he uncorks one to left. He knew it as soon as it left the bat. One of his 2 homers, 2 in a row for the Black Bears. It's 5-0. Bottom 3 now. Retrievers clawing back in it, down 5-3. That one from Anthony Swenda finds its way out of the park. A 2-run jack. We have a tie game, but the Black Bears would pull away. Top 7, up 12-6. Here's Jeremiah Jenkins, who jets one into left for the 5th home run of the game for the Black Bears. 3-run score. It's 15-6. Black Bears take game 1, 15-7. Okay, to game 2 we go. Top of the second, Black Bears up 2-0, and Ryan Turen rips one just over the shortstop's glove for a base hit. That scores Connor Goodman and Jenkins, 4-0 Maine. Bottom 2, Retrievers get on the board. Christian Easley, he grounds to short, but he's got some wheels. He is safe at first, and Matt Ryan comes home, 4-1. Top 4 now. It is 5-1 Black Bears. Colin Plant with one right down the middle. Jenkins is going to score from second. It is 6-1, and finally, same inning, 7-1 now. Mike Pratt with a base hit into right. Plant comes in to score, 8-1 Black Bears. UMBC would put together a heck of a rally late, but Maine holds on to win, 8-7. They get the sweep to start conference play. Okay, now for some other scores from the area. Maine softball lost both games of their doubleheader today. They lost their first game to Dartmouth 1-0, second game to St. Mary's 2-0. And Husson baseball lost both legs of their doubleheader today against Sal Virginia. First game 8-3, second game 3-0. Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
Are you looking to have some fun, including soaring on Skyrider, the ultimate indoor zip line? Well, come over to Urban Air, Bangor's #1 birthday party destination, located at the Airport Mall. Urban Air has gravity-defying attractions for all ages, including our Warrior Course, trampolines, enormous arcade section, and climbing walls. Call us today to schedule your birthday party. And don't forget, we have endless play memberships available as well. Urban Air, let them fly.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a great place to work. The team here provided me with all the opportunities and experience necessary to grow within the company, all while working around my busy college schedule. They provided all the necessary licensing and training. It truly was the job that kickstarted my career.
Autumn of Life Home Care in Brewer is a licensed agency with personal support specialists.
Let our compassionate, reliable, considerate caregivers make your life a little easier by providing assistance for you or your loved one.
Autumn of Life Home Care. We focus on you. Apply today.
Realtors at Morrison & Company with Next Home experience have been serving satisfied clients since 2016. With more than $25 million in sales for 2022 alone, we hold the expertise to get you from under contract to closing during this very personal experience. Our modern and hands-on approach will get you where you want to be, faster and with less hassle. Call us today for your real estate options.
Dad, not another showing.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
It's an epic new season with weekly themes and a special new twist.
What? Somebody's messing with us.
The Masked Singer, Wednesday on Fox.
Good Burger 2 will hit screens this year. The comedy is about two not-so-lucky burger workers. Returns in a sequel. Original stars Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell made the announcement on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. The sequel involves more bad luck humor to keep a burger joint afloat. The original 1997 film came from a Good Burger sketch on Nickelodeon. Excited to see how they play with that one. In other news, the U.S. jobs market continues to stay strong as unemployment claims fell again last week. The Labor Department reports claims dropped by 20,000 for a seasonally adjustment, 192,000. The average has stayed around pre-pandemic levels despite recent mass layoffs in the tech industry, as hiring numbers in other industries remain up, as about 160 million Americans were employed in February. The U.S. housing market saw its first year-to-year price decline in a decade. Real estate brokerage Redfin reports the U.S. median home price fell by 1.2% in February compared to the previous year. Real estate agents say buyers are struggling with higher interest rates and increased costs, while sellers are adjusting to not being able to sell as high as their neighbors did in previous years. Agents also say the drop in prices could soon attract more potential buyers. All right, that's all for tonight. We hope to have you, we hope you have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you back here at 10.
You know what that sound means. It's spring break at Bob's Discount Furniture, and I've got fresh new dining furniture that will make you a hosting hero. My collections serve major style. Many come in dining and counter heights, include 6 chairs. Keep storage on the menu, and with my everyday low prices, complete sets start at just $5.99. Take a break from overpriced stores and stressful haggling this spring break at Bob's. What's that? A tiny dining set for birds? Genius!
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world